abs are activating like buggery.
Even this is just hard holding this spot here. So
let's try and go for 4 reps, all right, Jay? So rotate, keep the same tensions, rotate. See that crazy amount of neuromuscular activation there. The shakes are going nuts. Good. Have a rest there, Jace. Well done. That'll burn you.
That'll burn you good.
Hey guys, Aaron and Jason here. We're going to show you 5 core exercises that could help relieve your lower back pain. First one is a plank. All right, Jace? So down into a standard plank, and then we're going to get Jace set up in a really good position here. So you can see Jason already gets in a pretty good position. I just want to see him rock back onto the toes a little bit more just to make sure this part of his arm is pretty straight. And he's already assuming a good position there, Jace, but can you show us what people generally do? So, yeah, a lot of people, they really sink down, okay? So you get this compression in the lower back, and that's going to stretch our core and make it not have the tension that we want. So first things first, we want to prop ourselves up like we're a car on a jack. So really getting some rounding happening in this thoracic spine here, but generally we want a straight line between the head and the sacrum here. A lot of people can really tense their quads a lot when they're doing a plank, so I just want Jace to soften his knees a little bit and relax his arms a little bit too, even though he's propping himself up here. And then what he wants to do is just create a little bit of a drawing in of the belly here. So when you tell yourself to relax the arms and relax the legs, you can really isolate the tension in the core here. So Jason's in a really, really good position there. So if you've got a mirror at home, try and create a straight line between the spine. Make sure you've propped yourself up, get some rounding in the upper back here. And then once you're there, and hopefully you've found a good angle where you can feel your core being the predominant thing that's activating, then we want you to do some breathing. So I'm going to get Jace to breathe in his nose and then out the mouth. So in the nose, nice and slow and controlled. And then the exhale is also like a relaxing kind of sigh, not dumping the air, not like forcing it out. It's more just like a, and what that's going to do is just get the diaphragm to work with the core tension and really, once again, help isolate the core to switch on during this exercise. You shaking there, Jace? How you going there, brother? You good? Yeah, have a rest, mate.
Are you lost with your health and fitness and don't know where to start? Are you feeling low on energy, uninspired, and even experiencing some pain? We want to tell you that you have the power to completely change the way you feel. And we're here to guide you every step of the way on your journey. You're not alone. We've helped thousands of people who have experienced the same things. From developing good habits to performing our signature deep tissue bodywork on yourself and learning how to exercise in a way that's optimal for your body. We're giving you everything that we've developed over the past 20 years to change your life in one easy to use app. If this resonates with you and you want change, join now to get lifetime access to our Fundamentals of Fitness online program. We're excited to have you on the journey.
So underrated exercise that.
With the plank, it is a pretty standard exercise you see, but when you get it right, there's nothing kind of standard about it. It's pretty brutal. But don't go for how long you can hold it. It's more get the right tension. Quality. And even if you're quality over quantity, because a lot of guys or girls too can hold it there and their shoulders are activating and they feel nothing in the core. But when you get that right tension and you feel that crazy burn, just go as long as you can whilst that burn's there. And then when you start to fail or compensate, have a rest and start again, okay? Because what we're trying to do with these exercises is get this to really burn up so that we can create stability around our trunk and make our lower back feel a lot better, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And always do these exercises with intent. You want to actually target the core. So if you're not feeling it there, do as best you can to really target it in there. So take these tips on board. Like any training exercise, you need to have focus on what you're doing, not just lying there and going, oh, I'm planking for 3 minutes. I was shaking there after like 20 seconds. So that's the goal you should be at. When you're shaking, your body's fully switched on and everything's working to the degree that it needs to be. So
yeah, it's that mind-body connection. When you haven't got the stability and you're a bit of a noodle, you're quite hypermobile, these isometrics are great because we're creating some stability and tension, but mind-body connection's massive. Sometimes like actually touching and tapping the area you want to activate will help start that initial connection happen. But yeah, like Jay said, you've got to be intentional with this stuff rather than just doing it blasé. Okay.
Let's go on to the next one.
What have we got next, Jace? We've got some dead bugs. So another kind of classic exercise, but we see that I guess they're done maybe ineffectively sometimes. So what we're going to do here is use a wall as a bit of a base of support for Jason's arms. Yeah, shuffle back a little bit more, man. Jason's got the best shoulder mobility on YouTube, haven't you, bro? But basically what he's doing here is just pushing into the wall for a bit of support for the upper body. And what he's doing here is, getting his legs into this kind of 90-90 position. So first of all, before he starts, Jason's just going to do his best to flatten his back out against the ground. So what we don't want to see here is this, because what that's doing is once again stretching the abs too much and compressing the back. This is actually getting the abs to pull the rib cage down and straighten everything out at the back there, okay? So what Jason's going to do now is take a big deep breath in the nose, and then as he breathes out the mouth, I want him to lower this right leg all the way down to the ground. Just hover it an inch above the ground and keep that back as flat as you can as you're breathing out. And now breathe in the nose and come back up. And now breathe out the mouth again, and the other leg goes down. You can see him working really hard here to keep that spine flat. Breathe in again, bring it up. And then the right leg goes down. See him exhaling, keeping these ribs down, abs are on. Inhaling. Other leg goes down. Once again, ribs working really hard to stay down. Look at all that tension in the abs there. And the spine is staying really flat. So once again, we're just creating some great stability for the trunk, getting the core to do what its job is, which is to help create stability around the spine. And remember, these exercises are kind of entry level, but there's nothing standard about them when you get them right. They burn like crazy. So a couple more, Jace. And this stuff is going to transfer over to our more dynamic stuff, like when we're walking, running, and doing those kind of activities. The core is going to be have an adequate amount of tension into it so we can stabilize our pelvis and our spine there. So pretty brutal, eh,
Pretty
Jace?
good, yeah.
Some good burns. How do you want to
Absolutely.
talk about how you felt there?
Yeah, it's just really, again, conscious of keeping the ribs down, not flaring your ribs when you're lowering down the legs. And again, slow and controlled and really target in and getting that core activated. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Slow's always better with a lot of these exercises. People think core and they want to do it really fast and all that. But slow and hit the right angles and you'll get a much better burn.
Yeah, if you do a 20-second core exercise but get a great fatigue in the core, that's actually better than a 15-minute workout where you don't feel anything in the core, okay? Because, trying to create that tension, that fatigue, that mind-body connection. And when you get that, instantaneously, you should get up and feel better in the back or better in the pelvis because there's that base of support there, okay?
Absolutely.
Next one is a Russian twist. This is one you find in a lot of ab programs, but what we're going to teach it is basically how to do it in a slow manner again to get the right activations. But the cool thing about this is it is an isometric because you're holding, but there's a little bit of movement, bit of rotation happening in the spine now. So just getting the body to start to switch on a bit more dynamically. So Jason's going to end up in this position here where he's kind of holding himself propped up like that. Feet off the ground if you can, or do you want to do them just feet on the ground?
Start with feet on the ground, because this is pretty challenging already.
Yeah, so talk us through what you're feeling there,
Some
man.
people struggle to hold this. It almost feels like you want to fall back or you want to sit up further. But it's finding that balance out where you're, again, locking in the core and you're holding his back and spine straight. You're not curving here and you're not overextending and locking in with your back. You're holding yourself there with your core.
Yeah.
All right, so holding here, and then you can keep your hands in close and you just rotate and touch the side and rotate and touch the side. So starting to get some rotation through the spine, but again, you're staying there and holding with the core. All right, so you're trying not to round forward as you do it. So you stay leaning back, keep that angle on, and you start to get some shakes pretty quickly.
Looks really good, man. You're doing really well. Have a bit of a breather if you want there, bro. Well done. We'll get you to have a bit of a breath, and then I might get Leo to come round to the side and showcase just what you mean by, you got to find that point of tension, don't you? Because like here, I feel nothing, and then if you test it, like if you go back slowly, go back slowly, go back slowly, you feel that point, okay, right there, the abs have to grab, and there'll be this feeling of you just want to go back because it's too much.
Yeah.
But the idea is, you got to try and stabilize yourself there because that's the point where your abs kick on. So, maybe try it again, Jace.
So
Start at the top.
here and then coming back, and about there, I reckon I start to feel my abs holding me there.
Yeah, and if you look at his spine here, Leo, you can see that he's in just a nice little bit of flexion the whole way around. He could even extend his spine a little bit more there. Yeah, that's good there, Jace. So right there, you can see he's just keeping a nice neutral spine. Abs are activating like buggery.
Even this is just hard holding this spot here. So
let's try and go for 4 reps, all right, Jace? So rotate, keep the same tensions, rotate. See that crazy amount of neuromuscular activation there. The shakes are going nuts. Good. Have a rest there, Jace.
Cool.
Well done. That'll burn you.
That'll burn you good. Yeah.
All right, 3 down, Jace. So what
What
we're
have we
going
got next?
to work on now is kind of a standard Palloff press or a pull-off hold using a cable. But why this is awesome is because, yeah, once again, we're starting to get a little bit more dynamic. We've got some tension coming through horizontally here. And what Jason's going to do is basically just get his hands right into that position there, right where his sternum is, and then just press out and hold there. So right now, what we've got is Jason's obliques and the core have to activate and stabilize his body from not bowing out against this tension. So if you look at the abs here, this is a really cool example of the spiral line of tension in the abs. Can you see that diagonal line of tension that's been created in Jason's abs there? So this is the stuff that propels us through life when we walk, run and throw. We've got all these amazing anatomy trains and lines of connectivity throughout our body that actually help propel us. So we can see here, when you look at a standard ab chart, you just see a six-pack, but the abs work differently. They're very dynamic. We can see here, when we have this kind of tension going through the body, you get this amazing diagonal wrapping happening here, all the way up into the serratus, all the way down to this opposite hip. So this is a great exercise to just get the body ready for movement, but whilst doing it in a kind of safe and easy to do environment, AJ. So talk us through what you're feeling there, man.
Yeah, so I'm feeling core having to hold me here, but I'm also feeling my right glute having to stabilise to not let my hip sort of bow out.
Correct.
And to keep everything up there. So yeah, if you're not stable through the glute and through the hip as well, yeah, you'll start to lose that connection. So yeah, I can feel glute wrapping around into the core, and even if I come a bit further,
Yeah.
now it gets core a little bit more.
Come through to the front here, Leo. So the idea is that band is basically trying to pull Jace into an asymmetrical position or just bow out. And what he's doing here is trying to create a symmetry, and that means that he's creating adequate tension through his body to be able to deal with this stimulus here. And so it's great. And what you can do is, if you can't feel the tension, I like to do some pulses. If you just pulse these tiny pulses, little ones, even again and again, yeah, that'll create like that really good grabbing fatigue and tension. And then that'll help you find that tension, and you can, have a rest from there. So it's awesome,
It's
isn't
brutal,
it? It's
yeah.
really
So
good.
that's another really good one for core. But again, yeah, you feel a lot through your body, so you don't really know until you actually experience these exercises and do them right. You really feel this glute holding me there, but then yeah, core as well, and you start to feel that connection, as Aaron said, the different slings in the body.
Yeah. Another one with that too is, if you've got lower back pain and you're trying these, I guarantee you when you do that first one, you probably will feel your back. But then it's up to you to get that mind-body connection and work on your angles, work on your positioning. How can you take the tension from the lower back and place it where it needs to be? Because that's where people have lower back pain a lot, is they're using their back too much. Their back is all their stabilization instead of their core and their pelvis.
Extensions where you're holding everything with your back, and again, your core's lengthened here and weak.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep that back straight and draw your abs in. Hold that
Spot
tension.
on. The last one we've got is a dynamic side plank. So once again, looking at not just the six-pack of the abs here, our core is like a natural corset that wraps around our whole back, obliques and everything. So what we're going to do now is work the obliques, but also get the body moving in the frontal plane of motion, which is kind of side to side. A lot of people don't move well side to side. They're quite locked. So this exercise here targets the core, but also gets a nice stretch happening for structures in the lower back and the side of the body here, okay? So what we're gonna do is get Jace to set up with his feet on a bench, or but at home you can use a couch or a bed or something, and then just pop him up into a side plank here, okay? So come from a bird's eye view, Leo, and I just wanna show you getting the right angles for Jason here. So come right above here, man. So I want a directly straight line for Jace, which is about there. So you see he's got a pretty straight line from his ankle right up to his shoulder. And then if you go down low there, Leo, what he's going to do here, he's working really hard at getting all these muscles here to really fire up and work. And then what he's going to do is drop that hip down towards the ground and then pop himself back up again. Good. And down and up. Nice, man. So all the way down, stretch all this, and then all the way up to create like almost the opposite C curve. So he's got a concave here, and then I want him to see him have a concave there. Good, man. Two more. Fire it up, man. Come on, higher. There you go. Good, man. Last one. Fire it up higher, higher, higher. Have a rest. Have a rest. So if you're just starting out, that's probably, even holding that isometric is probably going to be enough for you. But yeah, we want you to eventually progress into be able to doing the movement, because the facilitations you get there are pretty amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging.
Let's see the other side so Leo can see from that way too, just the positioning. So on the bench, yep, pretty straight line there. Just start with the isometric, so holding, lots of tension there, Jace. You can tap it for that mind-body connection, and then he's going to drop that hip down. Good, and then drive up, man. Good, I love this one, awesome. See that nice C curves. This one looks like it's a bit easier for you.
Yeah, it feels a bit easier on this side.
So even our best specimen has some weaknesses on either side, you know. So it's kind of cool that you can see that these exercises show up where you potentially have a little bit of an asymmetry. Well done, Jace. One more. And up. Perfect. So there you go, guys. We will leave the sets and the reps that we recommend in the description below, but you've got 5 exercises there that you can dive into and try and master to relieve your lower back pain. We believe that they'll help substantially and will lead on to better workouts, better movement, and just a better life, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Bye.